Hey you all, it's Amber from the Ostomy Diaries. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you all about my recent experience with the Coloplast Sensura Mio pouching system. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I recently tried this system. So today I want to give you my thoughts and experience and some details about what I think so far. Let's get right on to it. Stay tuned at the end of this video. I am actually doing a bag change on screen, so you'll get to see me use these products, what I'm doing now, my updated bag routine, so be sure and watch that at the end of this video. Okay, so starting things off, I want to go ahead and tell you the product number for the bag and the flange I'm using. I'll try to include those on the screen as I go, and I will definitely put the product number for all the products you see in this video in the video description. The bag that I am using is the 11471. The flange that I am using is 10512. So with Coloplast, like a lot of other brands, they color code things based on sizes. I am currently using the size that has the red color label. Just a helpful tip, especially if you're a newbie ostomate. If you're using the Sensura Mios and you get your products, the red label flange will fit on the red label bag. You can tell by the boxes it's in. I know that really helped me keep everything straight, especially in the beginning. The first thing that I want to talk to you about that I noticed right off the bat is the material of both of these products. So I am used to a felt, almost Band-Aid like material. This seems to be a lot more durable. It doesn't bunch up in those little fuzz balls because of this material. It's still very smooth, but it's not a Band-Aid like material, so it's not gonna fuzzball. Sometimes with other products, they were still great products, but if I was wearing high-waisted jeans or something, after a day or two, it would start to fuzzball and knot up, and it made it a little uncomfortable on the bag, and I felt like it wore down quickly. These bad boys I've been wearing for 4 and 5 days at a time, and they are not fuzzballing up. So I am getting 4 to 5 days of wear time with this pouching system. I could maybe push it a little bit longer, but I typically change my entire system after about 4 to 5 days. So the material of the flange is also very unique and I love it. It's more like a gel feeling. It's very flexible. It's not gonna ripple up and get those fuzzball knots that some of the flanges do. So I really like that about it. It's also very flexible, so I feel like it contours to your body well. You know, every little curve or crevice around your stoma and on your abdomen. This fits pretty much any shape. So you can see how much I'm bending this. So I really like that about it. So more about the bag. One thing that I really love about this, I like the opaque bags because I'm a weirdo, and if I have a clear bag, I stare at my poop. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat these chips and then see what my poop looks like. I don't know if you guys ever stare at your output, but that's where I'm at in life. So I can have the opaque bag that I can't see through, which I really like, but it offers this inspection window. That's the fancy terminology they call it, where you can see your stoma through this inspection window. So that's really neat because, you know, especially in the beginning, right after surgery, my surgeon wanted me to keep an eye on my stoma and just make sure that I wasn't having a lot of blood in my output, which you can see when you empty it, but especially to make sure that your stoma is that nice pinkish red color. So if you're wanting to check that, but you don't want to see your output all the time, this inspection window is a nice feature. Another cool thing about this is there is a little Velcro type situation going on right here. This is the rough edge. So this bag is not very big on its own. This is it compared to the size of my hand. This is it compared to the size of an iPhone. You can actually close the end, roll it up, fasten the sides, and then this material right here, the soft part, will attach to that little piece under the inspection window, kind of like Velcro. So then you can just pull the inspection window over it, and that makes the bag less than half the size. I've seen several people on Instagram who work out a lot or who are going swimming. They might fold the bag in half just to help it be more discreet, might be more comfortable. I know some people don't like the feeling of the ostomy bag hanging down, so you can fold it up like this. I just make sure if I do fold it up, I empty it more frequently because I don't want that pressure to build up right here and cause it to leak. So just be, cautious about that if you are folding it up. The way this bag closes is really unique as well. It doesn't have a flap that just goes down. It's just these two little snap sections right here. You open it up. This is really easy to clean. So there's no Velcro or rough little ridges right here. It's just that smooth material that you can wipe off easily. I know sometimes if I'm in a bind and I don't have wipes, or if I'm at work and I want to wipe the end with toilet paper, sometimes the toilet paper will get stuck on the material of the other bags, but toilet paper just slides right off of this, so it is very easy to keep clean at the bottom. So that's nice. Another feature of this flange that I really like, these edges stay down on your skin really well. I use the barrier spray, stoma powder, all kinds of stuff on my skin around the stoma, and that doesn't affect the adhesive on these bad boys. So I'm going to show you guys a bag change after So I'm going to show you guys a bag change here in just a minute, and I'm going to show you the back of this flange. The whole thing has adhesive on it. So this whole part is sticky. I feel like it sticks down, locks down on your skin really well. Notice in the bag change, when I put the flange on, I press down on these edges. I just do that to make sure that I get a good seal, and it does stick all the way around. And so far, I've been using this for about 8 weeks now. I haven't had any issues with these edges rippling up. All right, last but definitely not least, there's a really neat feature on this bag. This little contraption right here, I'll show it to you from both sides. You can actually snap it together, and that locks this bag onto this flange. There was one time I was wearing my ostomy and I did not get the bag snapped on good, and I was laying on the bed, like laying over it, just playing with the dogs, and I stood up and the bag was on the bed and not on me. It had come off because I didn't get it snapped on good. This ensures that that won't happen. So you can lock it into place, and then you can't just take it off. So this is going to help you feel secure that your bag is not going to fall off your flange. I know some people worry about that with two-piece pouching systems. So that's a way for you to just feel more secure. That way you don't have to worry about the bag falling off of the flange. Okay, so now I am going to show you all my updated bag change routine. I'm going to show you all the products that I use on camera. I'm going to do a bag change. So here you go. Let's watch it. Okie dokie. So what I am doing here is cutting my flange. I always cut mine. I don't get them pre-cut. I cut it to fit my stoma because I feel like if I gain or lose weight, that may change. So I always cut my own. Here are all the products that I use in this video. I've got them laid out in the order that I'm going to be using them. I will list all the product numbers for all of this stuff in the video description. I wanted to show you all that these edges stayed down really well. This is on day 5. I did shower with this bag. The edges are not rippling up on the sides, so I was really enthused about that. The top portion of the bag, where you see that little tab piece, that is detached from the skin so that you can pull the bag off easier. So that's always like that. Overall, I am very pleased with how this bag stayed on. So I'm going to begin this ostomy change by taking the old pouch off, putting it in this bag, tying it up, and setting that to the side. Now I am taking an unscented baby wipe and wiping around my stoma. Gonna keep doing that until I get all the excess gunk and anything that may have been on there off. Now I'm taking this adhesive remover wipe, and I'm going to wipe around my stoma just to make sure there's no residue or anything left from the previous system on there. Next, I take a paper towel with just plain water and wipe it one last time to make sure that there's no product or anything on there that's going to keep my ostomy from sealing the best it absolutely can. Now I'm taking Adapt Stoma powder. I spray this just around my stoma. This helps my skin not get irritated. Next is my absolute favorite product, the Cavilon 3M Barrier Spray. Barrier spray is so important because you're putting down that protective layer on your skin. That way, if you do have a little bit of output or anything like that getting through underneath your flange, it's not going to upset your skin because you've got this protective layer, kind of like a film or liquid Band-Aid if you've ever used that. They also make skin prep and wipes, but I prefer the spray. Next, I'm going to peel the back off the flange. Like I said, the entire back portion of this flange is sticky, so I feel like that helps it really stay on well all the way across. I'm going to take my Adapt Stoma paste. I always squeeze out just a small amount onto a piece of plastic or something that I'm not going to use because sometimes the edge of the paste at the tip of the tube gets a little bit crusty or maybe dried out, and I don't want to put that on my ostomy. So I do just squirt a little bit of that out so that what is going on my flange is fresh product. Now I'm going to take the paste and just put it on around the circle of the flange in a thin layer. Don't get carried away with this because in my experience that has caused it to leak before. Now I'm going to put the flange directly on my skin and press down on the edges around it. I take my finger and I go in a circle around my stoma. I feel like that helps me get the best seal possible. It secures that area around your stoma. This is so important. Now I make sure my bag is closed, which I usually do before I start. I put my bag on at an angle. A lot of people ask me why I do this, and that is because I don't like my bag hanging down and touching my thigh. That's just a personal preference. This doesn't make it harder for me to empty it or anything like that, so I wear mine on an angle a little bit. Once the bag is snapped on, I take both my hands and I just apply a little bit of pressure to the bag. You can see here that I'm just making sure the edges are down, and I just push down a little bit to make sure that I get a good seal. That's so important to make sure that everything is locked into place, and that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know a lot of you that follow me on Instagram have been asking, Amber, what's up? How are you liking this? So if you have questions, let me know down in the comments. I like hearing from you guys. If you haven't done so yet, check me out on social media at OstomyDiaries and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Can't wait to see you on my next video. Bye.